So Lot begged them insistently, and they knew him to be a righteous man, not yet willing to make themselves known to him. They consented to take shelter under his hospitable roof. Just like when our Lord Jesus, willing for the time being to conceal his person from the knowledge of the disciples going to Emmaus, made as though he would go farther, but at last, like the angels here, yielded to the importunity of his disciples, and went into their lodgings. And Lot fed them, and they did eat not because they had need, but because the time was not yet come for them to reveal themselves to him. Before the guests went to bed, the men of Sodom surrounded the house. All the men of the city, both young and old, were there. They called out to Lot and asked, "Where are the men who came to stay with you tonight? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them." Lot went outside and closed the door behind him. He said to them, "Friends, I beg you, don't do such a wicked thing. Look, I have 2 daughters who are still virgins. Let me bring them out to you, and you can do whatever you want with them. But don't do anything to these men. They are guests in my house, and I must protect them." But they said, "Get out of our way, you foreigner. Who are you to tell us what to do? Out of our way, or we will treat you worse than them." They pushed Lot back and moved up to break down the door. But the 2 men inside reached out, pulled Lot back into the house, and shut the door. Then they struck all the men outside with blindness, so that they couldn't find the door. And before they went to bed, the men of Sodom surrounded the house, both young and old were there. They called out to Lot and asked, "Where are the men who came to stay with you? Bring them out to us." The men of Sodom wanted to have sex with them. This abominable conduct of the men of Sodom was the deepest disgrace to human nature. This was indeed a wicked city. Nothing is more dangerous than to live where sin reigns, for it corrupts all. God's attitude toward this vile behavior became clear when he destroyed this city. Here we see, this city was so evil and perverted that they participate in group sex. Went out and closed the door, and said to them, "Brethren, I beg you, don't do such a wicked thing. I have 2 daughters who are still virgins. I will bring them out to you, and you can do whatever you want with them. But these men, they are guests in my house, and I should preserve them from all injury." Lot deserves praise for defending his guests, but he is to be blamed for seeking unlawful means, for a father to offer his daughters to this evil bunch didn't speak too highly of Lot. But God was gracious to him because he was righteous by faith before God. But the men of Sodom, filled with lust, would not listen to him. They even called him an outsider, and one sin leads to another. They were about to break and enter Lot's home to get the men. Lot was now being protected by those whom he had earlier sought to protect. Now these 2 men deprived these wicked men of a proper and regular use of their sight. They caused such a deep darkness to take them, that they could not find Lot's door. Just like when the army came down to Elisha, he prayed unto Jehovah, and said, "Smite this people, I pray thee, with blindness." And he smote them with blindness according to the word of Elisha. The 2 men said to Lot, "If you have anyone else here, sons, daughters, sons-in-law, or any other relatives living in the city, get them out of here, because we are going to destroy this place." The Lord has heard the terrible accusations against these people and has sent us to destroy Sodom. Then Lot went to the men that married his daughters, and said, "Hurry up and get out of here, the Lord is going to destroy this place." But they thought he was joking. At dawn the angels tried to make Lot hurry. "Quick," they said, "take your wife and your 2 daughters and get out, so that you will not lose your lives when the city is destroyed."